Good morning everyone, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So this is technically take 2, because my cats are fighting and being very loud in the previous take, and I was like, well, can't really use this footage. But I'm very excited about today's build. So it's this really cute, adorable, pastel, pink, yellow, blue flower store, and I've never ever built a flower store except for maybe in like My Sims when that game was a thing. It should still be a thing. I miss My Sims. It was such a derpy game. Anyway. So, flower store, yes. There's an entire strip in Willow Creek that's just filled of like shops and stuff like that. Like they have a gym, a library. What else do they have? They have another one, and then there's this lot. Anyway, so it's kind of inspired. For one of my classes, we were learning about Walt Disney, which like obviously if you guys know me, I'm a Disney fanatic. I love it. And we were talking about like Main Street USA, so I got kind of inspired by like the different types of architecture and the buildings. And I know there's like a lot with the whole Disney thing and like neo-Nazi, and it's we're gonna ignore that for now, and we're just gonna focus on the amazing architecture that provided us. So I just kind of got some inspiration off of that, and I want to redo the entire street of Willow Creek that like all these businesses and stuff are on. So this is like part 1 of that. And if you're wondering, Jesse, you're only using half the lot right now. Yes, so the flower store will take up half of this lot, and then like I have an idea for the other half, but I don't know, like I have an idea for the exterior and like the shell of it, but I don't know what I want this store to be just yet. I do want it to be a store, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'll put in there just quite yet. But yeah, anyway. So I guess like that's about it for like the build itself, as far as just like the stuff I need to talk about before I can just like ramble about life stuff, because like let's be real, you guys come here mainly for that, I hope. Anyway, so it's technically like 8 a.m. maybe. Oh my god, it's actually 9 a.m. already. Oh boy. I stayed out till like 2 a.m. last night, and I'm not very proud of that fact. But there's a thing in downtown, it was over at like the Blue Note or whatever, and it was this silent disco. And if you're like, Jesse, what on earth is silent disco? I will tell you, my lovely people. God, that was cheesy. Because I didn't know either. It was such like, because it seems like contradictory terms, you know, to have a silent disco. But anyway, so what it is obviously after you go through security and bag check and whatever, and you show your ID and you get this wristband so you can drink in the venue and stuff, then you go over to these one people who just have like a little stand or whatever, and you give them your ID and they give you a pair of like Bluetooth headphones, so there's no wires or anything, because obviously when you're dancing that'd be terrible. And there's 3 different channels on it, and there's 3 different DJs at the venue. So you can switch between like all 3 channels. If you don't like a song on one of them, you can find a song on another. And it's a dead silent room except for like people breathing heavy and like the scraping of shoes and the occasional like foghorn that they do, which foghorn was a little bit much, just saying. They also had bubbles there, which was really random. But anyway, so like, I don't know. Yeah, me and my friend, because I went with my best friend and stuff, and like, we each kind of like got a drink and just kind of like watched it a little bit at first, because we were like, what on earth is this event? And then like I think the song that got us on the dance floor was, they did an EDM version of Toto's Africa, and I was like, oh my god. So I dragged Megan by the hands and we're like on the dance floor, and it was just, oh, it was so fun. And they play like really good music and stuff, because if I didn't like either of the other 2 channels, I could focus on one, and it was such a cool concept. If you guys ever get a chance to go to a silent disco, definitely do it, because it was I didn't think it was going to be as fun as it was, and it really is, because you get to like let loose and you get to listen to kind of your own style of music, sort of, but it got very EDM-y at the end, and not in a good way, because EDM can be done right, but all 3 DJs felt like they were playing the same song, because like none of it had lyrics or anything. It was just like the same dubsteppy, yeah. So me and Megan left, and we just like went to this wine place and just had a few wines, and I met up with another friend. Anyway, then I got a little crazy, and then I ended up going over to this one pool place and playing pool, and I'm very bad at pool in general. Not that people really need to know it, and I talk such a big game too, and that's gonna get me in trouble one day with pool, because I'm like, oh yeah, like obviously we're gonna like I don't know, place a bet or something stupid, because like I've done it to where, like, let's say it'll be a date and something, we go out for pool. This is how I date people, by the way. I take them to, like, play pool or for drinks or something. And anyway, I'll just be talking and I'll be like, hey, let's place a bet, like, loser kisses winner. Just something, like, really stupid. It's only something I would do, and it just, I don't know. But it always works out in my favor, so, like, even if I completely lose, I still get a kiss at the end, and that's kind of why I do it. Plus, it makes the game, like, a little bit more competitive, even though, like, the prize isn't really something that should be competitive. Anyway. But I sucked at pool because I was a little bit not sober. Because at that point, we'd been drinking before we went to the silent disco. We'd been drinking at the silent disco. We had wine after that. And then we decided to play pool because everywhere else closed down. And at one point, I think I jumped the ball from one table to another, which is like a true skill. Oh my god, it was a complete mess. It was so much fun though. Needless to say, I think maybe only got like one ball in the entire 3 games that we played, which is a little bit sad. The person I was playing with definitely didn't take it easy on me, which, like, I guess I appreciate, but I would have kind of preferred that they took it a little easy on me when I'm not sober, but that's fine, that's whatever. I could take it. But yeah, so moral of the story, if you get a chance to do a silent disco, definitely do it. But it was kind of my reward because I just finished up my first week of class and everything, and that's our first week of, like, classes of senior year, which some of them were very, very interesting. So the class that I thought was going to be my favorite is my least favorite, and vice versa. So let me explain. I feel like one of those YouTubers. Let me explain why this show sucks. Anyway, I actually really love those channels, and they're my guilty pleasure. But anyway. So I have this history of colonial America class, and, like, I really like the professor. Like, she clearly loves the subject, but she talks in monotone, and it's an hour and 15-minute class, and it's my last class of the day at, like, 3 p.m., so I'm already, like, a little tired, a little hungry, just kind of wanting to go home. So she talks in monotone, and, like, she goes through her lecture slides so quickly that you have to have, like, the hand of, like, Icarus or something, just, like, really fast. Or what, Hermes? Was Hermes the one that was really fast with it? Yeah, Hermes was the one with the wings on his shoes. I tried to make a mythology reference and it didn't work. Anyway, so you have to write really freaking fast just to keep up with her. And it just, oh my god, it was painful. But anyway, she did that for, like, both of the 2 times that we met this week, and I was like, oh god. And the fact that she's monotone, I about fell asleep. I was just like, okay, I might drop this class. I won't, because, like, obviously I kind of need it, but oh well. Real quick, I want to comment on this roofing situation that I'm about to do, because it was really difficult. So I was actually inspired by this one picture of Main Street, USA, in Disneyland, Disney World, you guys know. And it had this beautiful Art Deco situation for the roofs, where it starts small on the ends and, like, kind of goes larger towards the middle with its own, like, little tower. And it was just, honestly, it was really beautiful, and I wish that I could replicate that, but, like, I was just struggling with the tools that we have in The Sims. I'm sure if I sat down and just tried really hard, it wouldn't be too bad. But, like, I know it'd be easier to build it in a game like Planet Coaster. But then again, you wouldn't really be able to build the interior in Planet Coaster, so I don't know. It's just kind of its own thing. Like, if you can combine the tools in The Sims along with, like, the tools in Planet Coaster, which honestly, like, I was kind of hoping The Sims 4 would have more, like, leeway with their building tools than they do, but that's fine. Yeah, so I ended up going for this sort of schoolhouse vibe that we kind of got going on here. And I have the 2 dormers with the tower in the middle. I had the roof separated on either side of the dormers to where it wasn't, like, connected. So it technically wasn't a dormer, it was like a 3rd floor. And it just looked really, really awkward, so I just kind of, like, connected those 2 roofs. I added some, I want to say they're cornices, but I don't think that's the right term. I added some of those things, I point to my screen like you guys can see me, to just kind of, like, support the roof, give it a little bit more detail, because it's such a tall roof that it just looks a little bit awkward. So yeah, and then I kind of worked on it a little bit off camera too, and I add some detail into the roof that's mainly featured in, like, Victorian architecture with, like, the stuff on top, the detailing on the actual, like, roof. You guys will see. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to preface that because, like, this roof is probably one of the weirdest I've built. I really struggle with roofs in The Sims. It's getting a little bit better. Same with my landscaping, but it's not quite there yet, so it's a work in progress. But anyway, back to college and, like, school and stories and whatnot. Let me take a sip of water real quick because, like, I'm recording this super early and I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, so my throat's, like, a little bit dead. Okay, a lot better. Get that water ASMR up in here. So the class I thought would be the least interesting is actually the most interesting. So it wasn't that like I was going into the class with the mindset of, oh, this won't be fun, but essentially the class is the Geography of Native America, which is kind of an interesting class in and of itself. I'm just taking it because it's like a writing intensive and I need that for my major, which is technically in the field of geography, but like it's a specialization in geospatial. So yeah, I was kind of going in with the mindset of like, this could be really interesting because I really like how Native American people, like, they tell stories and they compare things to like animals, and it just like, it's such a cool concept. Like on the first day we learned about like how there wasn't really a name for a tornado yet, but like the Native American people just like found out about horses and stuff like that. So since the horse was so like wild and untamed, they considered the tornado to be sort of like a horse, you know, and they would call it roughly the same. And it was just such a like a weird, cool concept. But it's such a fascinating class. Even the professor is really interesting. So like Friday, because it meets Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he just told us stories about his life. Like we just sat in kind of like a semicircle around the room, and he was at the front, and like we could just ask him whatever we wanted to know about his life. And like, I mean, obviously like related to the class and stuff, but he told us kind of like why he hates mascots, which is a really interesting conversation. He told us like where he grew up and like what his tribe or people were like and stuff, because he went from like a class of like 40 people to like 1,500 at like a big public school. And it was just like such a cool thing to learn about. So I definitely recommend taking classes like that like you might think they might be like super boring. I mean, obviously stuff like soil science probably wouldn't be the most exciting, and don't expect that to be exciting, but like history and geography classes have the tendency to either be really, really exciting or really boring depending on the professor. So yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of a cool thing. So yeah, I look forward to that class a lot. The one thing about taking, because I'm taking 3 history classes, 1 geography class, and 1 geospatial class, and that should roughly complete my second minor, as well as like get the writing intensive I need for geography, and then do a specialization for my actual like major. I forgot where I was going with this. It was somewhere. Lord only knows. Okay, I'm just gonna watch that thought fly away. So we're doing the interior of the building. Oh, bear with me, people. It's early. I keep using that as an excuse, but like I am not really a morning person. That being said, like I'm not grouchy, like I won't bite your head off, but like I'm not with it in the morning. Like it takes me a while to like comprehend life in the morning. So yeah, but the interior is very pastel. It's very cute. We work with like a lot of pinks, yellows, and blues, and I use a lot of objects that like I wouldn't normally use, like those pastel butterflies or that wood heart situation, which is just kind of like what I envision as like the logo of the store. And I wanted to put those like little herb, I used to call them herbs, herb situation like somewhere in the build, but like I only really had one wall that could do like art and stuff, and it just looked a little too cluttered if I added the herbs, so I was like, I'll just kind of not worry about it. But yeah, I really love this kind of like pish posh, gosh, what is the word? It's like when you combine a lot of different things. Anyway, it's got a lot of different art and plants, and it looks good, and that's where I'm heading with that. I also use such giant flower arches from Romantic Garden stuff, which like I have a heck of a time finding a use for, but I finally found one in the flower store. So yeah, realistically it would probably be very, very obnoxious to have those in the store, but yeah, well, it's The Sims, so you can kind of do what you want. But yeah, it took me, oh god, maybe like an actual like real life hour to do this room. And I'm not proud of that fact. And I wanted to add like a little seating area, and then I have this areas where you can buy just kind of like wall art or outdoor stuff for your garden, which I kind of have, or I just built right there and stuff, has all the outdoor things with it. I of course had to add the cat succulent plant situation. And actually, I'm so sad because my succulent in real life just died. Like, I tried so hard to take care of it, and I did good for maybe about like 6 months, and then it just ate it, and I was like, oh. So I bought like a little cute corgi planter for that succulent, and I guess I'm just gonna get a fake one to replace it, because like, I'm really bad at taking care of plants, and I wish I wasn't, because like both my parents have green thumbs. Like my mom loves gardening, and she'll grow her own like ingredients for salsa, and she makes like the best salsa. Oh my god, because obviously it's all homegrown stuff. And then like my dad, he just bought some flowers for his like porch or whatever, and like they multiplied overnight, and it's just like this ginormous flower bush now, and I'm like, what is happening here? And then like I'm lucky to keep one plant alive, but that being said, I can keep 2 cats alive, and one of them has like diabetes and the other one has like special dietary needs. So like I feel a little bit proud that I can keep the important stuff alive, and plants I guess I just don't have that green thumb. I wish I did, because I love like farming games and stuff, as you guys know, because that's like 80% of my channel is farming sims. But real life, it's not quite that easy. I wish it was. Oh well. I also really love that cute little cat lamp and stuff. I really want one in real life. But sadly, I don't know if they exist. They probably exist. You could probably get a cat lamp. I'll have to look on Amazon. Oh my god, that's been my downfall lately, is freaking Amazon shopping. I don't buy anything, but they have so many cute, amazing things on there. Like, I saw a giant alpaca plushie. You guys don't even know how badly I wanted to buy it. It was like $250. I was like, okay, realistically, I don't need this. It's more of a want. And I'm a poor college kid who should be like saving money for food. But yet, here we are. Real quick, while we're still doing the kind of like second floor, it's not my favorite as far as just like interiors go. It's got kind of like a giant living room communal area, and then the bedroom's like a little too serious in my opinion. It's not quite as whimsical and eclectic as the rest of the build. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. I'd probably fix it if I were to go back, but I was just kind of running out of time at this point, and now we're getting into screenshots, so that means I need to wrap this up. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you've liked the video, and I will talk to you all in the next one. So until then, bye!